Okay, so I still did this thing, and it still says I'm not going to find love or move or get married or have a baby or die. I'm a vampire. Welcome to Crime Crazy. The week I already messed up, people. I don't know why I'm so nervous to read this. Well, let me tell you a little story about myself. I hate reading out loud. Okay, anyway. Starting over. Welcome to Crime Crazy, the weekly true crime podcast with Aaron Plime and Jordan Middleton. Don't forget to subscribe so you can join us each week as we prove that we pretty much know nothing about the legal system, but we're really crazy for a true good crime story.
Even a good true crime story.
That one too. We're here for them all.
Do you want to do it again? Or are you happy with that one?
No, I like my flaws.
Okay, that sounds good.
Also, I'm trying so hard not to open my notebook yet because I don't want you to see what the title is for mine.
Oh, okay.
So I'm no, I can't open it, but I'm excited.
That's funny. So we were just trying to make this a little bit more organized, so have an actual start and an actual end. You can tell how well that's going.
We're gonna get better, guys. This is why you love us.
That's right. All 57 of you or whatever.
Yeah. Hey. It's better than, the 4 we started out with.
That's true. I was so excited that our first podcast, it was the second day or something, 19 people had downloaded it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God!
So it's 17, not including us.
Yes, that's right. But no, we have a surprising number of downloads. I can only imagine that, my mom is sitting at home just downloading it over and over and over and over again. On all of her different devices.
She's sweet.
It says it's hundreds of downloads, but really
it's just your mom.
Yeah.
That's well, whatever. We love your mom, so.
We do.
I'm excited to read this with you.
I am so excited about your story.
But we need to talk about our week. Because we always do this. We couldn't decide on what kind of question we were going to ask this time.
Because the weird question, have you done anything weird or are you going to do anything weird? Yeah. This is too much pressure. I can't think of anything weird.
I did do things weird this past week, but it was just weird for me and my household type thing.
Uh-huh.
So this past week was the end of Lent, so I got to drink soda because that's what I gave up, and I wasn't going crazy. I just got a Sprite. Today I had an orange soda. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going crazy.
And then my 4-year-old said you could share.
Yeah.
So we can share this.
I was like, yeah, sure, okay. But that was weird to me because, I didn't really like the Sprite. And I always loved Sprite. And I was like,
just not had it. Just be done with it.
I probably will be. That's why I tried an orange soda. And I was like, I don't really like it. It's just sugary.
Yeah.
I like my flavored waters. But I was like, I just want to have one because I can now.
Yeah.
And then cooking on Sunday was weird because our Easter was early.
Yeah, because you did Easter Saturday.
Yeah, so cooking at home, that was the first time Mike and I could have a meal with meat, because he gave up meat.
Oh,
so it was weird to, make him meat. I was like, oh my God, I can make literally anything. I don't have to Pinterest what's a good vegetarian meal. So it was nice that it was a beautiful day. We barbecued. We took the dogs to the park.
It was a beautiful day. We had an egg hunt at my mom's house, and it was very nice outside.
Very nice. Yeah, I was just barbecuing. The whole neighborhood was out. You could hear everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah, well,
that's cool.
It is if you like your neighbors.
Yeah, I guess that's maybe cool.
All right, Erin, so broad question. Do you want to share something that you did weird or that you want to do weird in your life or that you're going to do weird this week?
Right before we started recording, I said something that was weird, didn't I?
Oh, something about Harry Potter.
Oh, yeah. So yesterday was Tuesday. Was Monday. Today's Tuesday. Wow. We need to start doing these on the weekend when I've had sleep and not on Tuesdays when I'm absolutely exhausted. So yesterday was Monday, and I work in a school and I train on technology and that kind of thing. And generally, I'll sometimes see classes and go in and teach for a few minutes in a class, but mostly I deal with adults.
Okay.
But yesterday I went and helped out with a class at a school that was not my school, at the middle school. And the reason that I went to help out is because they were making Harry Potter wands.
And of course you'd have to go.
Well, so the ITRT that has that school emailed and said, they're making wands. I told her you should come. Oh, there go the dogs chasing the cat. I swear they're going to be on every episode of this podcast.
Until my podcast room at my house gets set up.
Then it'll be big D barks.
Yeah, well, they might not bark. They're usually just
They're
sleep.
not yippy and annoying
they're just,
like mine.
if anything, they'll just want to, like, lick you. If you come over early enough and they get used to you, then they'll just go to sleep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Can we lay on the ground with the dogs and, like, podcast all reclined up against them? And
I don't know. Then they'll really be in it, because as soon as you're on the ground, that's their territory, and they think you're ready to play.
Oh, because they're still puppies.
Yeah, because Mike will, like, wrestle them on the ground. So Julius was laying on the ground. I went to cuddle him. I was like, you're such a sleepy boy. And then all of a sudden Frankie came, whoosh, like, ready to play.
So, yeah, I helped 8th graders make wands. But really, I got there a few minutes too late because I was on the phone with a tech support guy. And so they were pretty much done making wands. So mostly I talked to the teacher and made my own wand. And then I went back to my school.
Either way, it was important that you went.
I was helping. I did wear my official Ministry of Magic pin.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And I was going to, I have like these little ribbon stickers that you get at conferences, and they say like, you know, whatever, presenter or student or like whoever the organization is or whatever. And you can stack them on badges. So I have a whole bunch of those, and none of them really fit the making wands theme. So I was going to write like official ministry wand inspector or something like that on one of them. But the more I thought about it, I just, no, it was an 8th grade class. That's just way too dirty. It would not have gone down well.
No, they would have been...
So, they would have thought that was fantastic, but their teacher probably wouldn't have appreciated it. So, so yeah, I guess that's the only weird thing I did.
Well, that's still pretty weird.
Did you watch any crime dramas or listen to any podcasts or read any crime fiction this week? Or I mean, I know you read a lot of crime fact.
Yeah, I'll say every time I see anything that I'm like, I might want to use that, I'm always like, no, I gotta save that so I could like maybe use it in the future.
Yeah.
But as far as crime TV, I tried watching Criminal Minds, but that's not on Netflix like the season I need, so I gotta see if it's on my on-demand. And then Mike and I really enjoy watching Live PD.
You were telling me about that.
Oh my god, it's
you
so funny
because
they
about that.
Okay, well, first off, they live tweet the host, so it's hilarious, because he wears this, like, collared shirt with, like, a sweater over it, and they're all telling him that he had moobs, which are man boobs, and he's like, he looks like a fit guy, so it's not like, but...
He has, like, pecs.
Yeah, but it ends up looking like boobs, so, they were making fun of his sweater, and then, whatever, so... Pretty much, it's like camera crews go to different cities, so it changes Friday nights and Saturday nights. So these camera crews follow different sets of cops, or usually it's like one or two from each city, and in live time you see their like calls, like they might get a call about domestic abuse, and they'll go there, or like a party, or a traffic stop, and you'll see it all.
So did they decide on the cops they're going to follow it ahead of time?
I think so. I think it's, like, planned. Most of the time it's, like, one of, like, I don't know how cops go, but, like, the one in charge. Or, like, the sergeant, or, like, whatever.
I mean, this fits right in with the you know absolutely nothing about the legal system.
Oh, yeah, we literally don't know.
Good story.
So, I don't know anything between a sheriff and a deputy. Like, I don't get it. Like, who's who, but...
What happens if nothing happens? Is it just a totally quiet night? Or
no, but, like, the host will kind of, like... Because there's a control room, and sometimes you'll see that, but they'll switch from place to place, because it's going on at, like, a few different cities. Oh, so something's bound to be happening. So,
I
think that's how they manage that.
So they can piece it together and make it dramatic.
And sometimes if, like, two really good stories are going on at once, they'll be like, and while that one's wrapping up, this is what you missed... also happened in this city. So, but it's just funny because you can live tweet.
Two sporting events at the same time.
But it's like, it's weird because Mike and I are always like, when is it going to be like a shootout?
Oh.
And like, when is it going to be like too much?
And when they're going to have to cut it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have another question. Presumably, if you're a bad guy, you forfeit some of your rights. But if you're being chased by the police... Even if you are a bad guy, you're not a bad guy yet, like innocent till proven guilty. Mm-hmm. Do all of these people have to consent to be on the show?
If they say yes, then their face isn't blurred out. You could tell.
Oh,
like,
okay.
So they can still, like, this one lady got pulled over because of her blinker, but she was so nasty to the cop. And he was actually giving her, like, a break. He was like, look, I'm just trying to give you a warning, but you went ahead and been really nasty to me.
Right, so
like,
now.
Yeah, and she's like, well, get these cameras away from my effing car, blah, blah, blah. And she was freaking out. And he was just like, look, like, they're with me. He said, they're protecting you just as much as they're protecting me.
Yeah.
And she had nothing to say. And, like, one guy, he fell asleep in his car with a gun in his hand.
Oh.
And it looked really bad. His music was blasting. They thought that he was, like, on something.
Or he shot himself.
Yeah, or he was going to hurt someone else. Like, he was drugged out.
Right.
Come found, no, he literally was just asleep. He didn't realize that he had taken his gun out. He said that he might have taken it out because of, like, the parking lot he was sitting in. Like, he didn't want people to mess with him.
Yeah.
But it ended up being, like, nothing. They were all really nice to him.
So, I think that sounds like a fascinating show. Like, I'm going to have to watch that. But I'm guessing it's not on Netflix.
Nope. It's live on TV.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for me.
Yep.
See, I didn't watch any TV this week. Again. Apparently I don't watch TV. You know what? All I do is play Minecraft and listen to crime podcasts.
I need to. I need to listen to more podcasts. I've just been so behind with everything else in my life.
Well, at the end of this episode, when we give our shout-outs, I have 4 awesome ones that you should listen to.
Okay.
Other than ours, so really 5. There are 5 awesome ones.
Well, I listen to ours because I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I didn't sound like a freak. And then
Yeah,
every week
you don't
I'm
get
like,
to hear them until they're out.
Yeah. And then every week I'm like, oh, I sound like a freak. I'm like,
Whatever.
whatever.
No.
I let it happen. Let my freak flag fly.
That's hard to say.
Yep. Took me a second.
All right,
I think
that wraps it up.
I mean,
I could tell you about my Sherlock dream, but probably better not to.
Okay. Tell me later. Okay, so, Erin.
I'm so excited.
Now I can open the notebook.
Yes.
And so this one's actually in Lothian, Maryland. I have no idea where that is, but it's Lothian. And this was 2015.
Oh, okay.
I'm just going to tell you the story more or less because I didn't like all the articles because a few of them were like, here are 4 lines and that's it.
Right.
I was like,
just
well, I need more. So this actually has to do with a love triangle.
Ooh.
And how wronger it went.
How wronger it went.
I literally put on my notes on my Google Doc, love triangle gone wrong. Wronger. So I was like, when you were like, I would never do mine, I was like, me neither.
Oh, that's right.
So I was
we were talking in the Facebook group.
Yep.
Well, mine is for a completely different reason that I would never do it, but that's really funny.
Yeah. Well, hey.
All right, love triangle, I'm ready.
So, 43-year-old, her name was Anne Marie, and you know, guys, I suck at last names. Here,
I read it. Anastasi.
Anastasi? Sure. I was reading
This
it, I'm like...
sounds really familiar.
Stop.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead. I don't know.
Hmm.
One of these days we're going to pick the same one.
Yes. And then we're going to be a really short episode that week.
Right, and then maybe we'll just turn on Criminal Minds and, like, talk through it.
I'll say we'll just both, like, talk about the story and give our input about it.
Right.
Okay. So Anne Marie actually was a wife and a mother. So a mother of 5, and and her husband was Anthony. But also in the house lived turned into his girlfriend, Jacqueline Riggs, and she.
Wait, are you saying that she started out as both of their girlfriends, or she was just in the house?
They labeled it as their family associate, which I was like, that's probably the rudest, weirdest way to put that they had like a third person in their relationship. Right. So I'll get to that point. Okay. So let's see. The husband was 40 years old and the girlfriend was 25. So
the girlfriend was 25.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So they were in their 40s. She was 25. Okay. So Anne Marie was accused of conspirating this whole plot to murder. What?
Conspirating.
Oh, what did I just say?
That's what I'm saying.
My God. Ugh.
Conspiring.
Conspiring. Jesus. Mary and Joseph. It's okay. I literally wrote conspiring. Here, I'll show you.
You can't hold it up to the mic. They can't see it.
I'll take a picture, y'all. I'll show you. I put the right thing. So with her 13-year-old daughter, which her name was Sarah, and her daughter's boyfriend, who was 19. So a 13-year-old daughter and her 19-year-old
That's not okay.
boyfriend to
That's
kill
not
these
okay.
two people. So her own father and her father's girlfriend.
Okay, so I gotta recap the
I know.
characters.
I wish I could draw I'll draw a family tree for you guys. And take a picture
there's
of my
a husband
word.
and a wife.
Yes.
And then a girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay, so the wife and her child,
One of them,
who's a minor,
13 years old,
and her child's way too old for her boyfriend,
19.
all got together and decided to kill the girlfriend and the dad.
Yes.
I got it.
So it
That's
started
horrible.
out, yes, between the mother and the daughter. And then they were like, we should bring him in and see if he'll help us.
Because he's already good with breaking the law. Because he's a boyfriend. To
Probably so.
I mean, I guess if they're not having sex, it's not technically illegal. It's not okay. What 19-year-old wants to be with a 13-year-old? What person in the world wants to be with a 13-year-old?
Right? They're like the most annoying people in the world.
They really are.
So,
As a former middle school teacher, I can attest to that.
so they did this plot and they were group texting about what to do. Like, so the plan. Like, we'll hide him in the house here and he'll do this and kill them and do that, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, because it's always a good idea to put your murder plots down in writing.
In a group text.
Yeah, especially like a digital writing that's accessible by, say, like the phone company and therefore the cops. Like, it's a good idea to put all those details.
Oh, no,
first,
they were,
last
yeah.
names, everything.
They were smart about that.
Yeah.
So they pretty much were like, oh, well. Guys, we're real rough tonight.
I was trying to cover that up because I knew you couldn't hear it, but now you've been calling me. I just spilled all down the front of me at school.
We'll cut this out. So after the whole group text thing happened about, oh, we could just hide in the house and kill them. And he told the 13-year-old, her name was Sarah, the guy's name was Gabriel. That was the boyfriend's name. He was just like, well, you have to, you can't tell the cops about what I'm doing or what I did because, they're going to put me in prison for life.
Yeah.
And
that's what
she replied, if anyone asks anything, I'll say I did it. I'll take the fall for you.
Oh, because she's so young.
Or stupid.
Well,
whichever you're
stupid,
thinking.
But maybe she could get out in less time.
Yeah.
And...
So that was also found in the text messages. So.
Oh, see, some things are just better in person.
Nope, not this age.
Just talk in person. Or you could even write it on paper and then burn it, and then there's no record.
What happened was, in October of 2015, they found the husband, Anthony, shot. His cause of death was a oh my god, guys, what the hell? Gunflict
It's like
wound.
a conflict with a gun.
But a gunflict wound is what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
A gunshot wound, people! And there was a shell casing next to him, placed there. But
in order to make it look like a suicide?
But then the gun that she put on the other side of the bed and the casing that was found were two different style bullets.
Oh my god.
So,
these people are like the most brilliant criminals
love it.
in the whole world.
It's giving me life. So obviously guys, that was stupid and set up. But yes, she tried to, or he, whatever. They tried to make it look like a suicide. But the girlfriend was found in the basement, which is where she lived. Because they got together in the summer of 2015.
Not the child,
the girlfriend,
the third wheel. Okay,
yeah, they got together in the summer, and then by October she had already been living there in the basement. So it's the parents, the 5 kids, and the girlfriend in an 1,800 square foot rental home.
No wonder they wanted to kill each other.
Yeah. No wonder why the daughter was like, yeah, sure, I'll kill anybody. Get them out. I want hot water when I take a shower.
Right, I would like my own space.
So she lived in the basement, and that is actually where she was found dead. Her cause of death was actually, it said cut/stab wounds, And I'm like, okay, so it's just sliced, but then stabbed, so.
Right. Deep cuts.
Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, two totally different.
Yeah.
So my thought is that they were trying to make it look like he killed her and then went and shot himself.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
So that would have probably looked about right if the gun and the shell matched. And they could even tell by, like, the wound, like, what kind of gunshot it was.
Yeah.
Well, they took in Anne-Marie, not as a suspect, but as, like, more like a victim or, like, a witness to question her. So
it was her idea originally, right? She went to the daughter and then to the boyfriend?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Like, the daughter and her kind of, like, decided that they were, like, wanted to do this. So I'm sure it was her fault because, well, I hate to say her fault, but supposedly the mother and the father, so Anne-Marie and Anthony, horrible names, they almost rhyme.
We know how you feel about that.
I hate that.
Faye and Ray.
Faye and Ray. Ugh, God, stop. But they said that the household was always in conflict and that she suffered from domestic abuse.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, was their idea to add a third person to fix this? Or because that's what he wanted and she couldn't say no? But she was physically and I guess emotionally at some point involved as, like, 3. But then they later, like, excluded her out.
Oh, man.
So they, like, made her estranged from
her family, from
her husband.
And
so I was like, well, shit, I'd probably be mad too.
That's an awfully bold way to have an affair.
Yeah.
Like, move your girlfriend into the house.
Let your wife think that it's like, oh, it's for all of us.
Right.
And then
just
dump
kick
the wife
to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so not justified, but kind of see where she's coming from.
So they brought her in as a witness type of thing, and they didn't read her Miranda rights because she wasn't a suspect. They didn't arrest her. They didn't, you know.
Right.
So her attorney was trying to say, oh, well, anything you got from those videos can't be used in court because you didn't read her Miranda rights.
Right.
Because they brought her in twice. Well, they're like, well, we told her she could leave at any time.
Right.
She was
not under
calm.
arrest.
She was not stressed at all.
Right.
She answered our questions and left when we didn't have anything else to talk about. So she was like almost wanted to be there. So they were like, she wasn't a suspect.
Right. It was just an interview. It wasn't an interrogation.
Yeah. They're like, we were just asking her questions. Like, in the videos, like, they ended up saying that you can clearly see that she was treated like a victim. Because she had just lost her husband.
Right,
so,
and a roommate. And
yeah. So they were,
So does that mean that they, like, knew the kids did it right away? Or were they trying to figure that out?
I don't know. I think they were trying to figure that out to an extent. But it's like, they brought her in the day they found the bodies. And then, like, a few days later. It wasn't
So they figured out something
later.
Was fishy.
Fishy, but they couldn't figure out what. So when they brought her in the second time, and she was still calm, and everything was fine, I think that's what kind of clued them, like, she knows more than what she's actually saying.
Right, she should be a grieving mess.
Yeah, and I'll say, I don't think I would be calm if my husband was found dead in our bed.
Right.
And, like,
in a staged suicide.
Yeah. So then, eventually, the texts were found, plotting and planning between Anne-Marie, Sarah, and Gabriel. Because, group text is the way to go. Anne-Marie's clothing was covered with gunshot residue. It was on her shoes. It was on her clothing. So
did she shoot him?
She shot him, and Gabriel stabbed Riggs, the girlfriend.
The girlfriend. Oh.
So
she's not even just, it's not even just conspiracy or anything. Like, she killed him.
Yeah. She took care of him, and he took care of her.
Right.
So, the daughter had no part in actually killing, from what I could tell.
She just
but she was still
set it up.
Yeah, she was still heavily involved. And then, let's see. So, obviously, we already talked about how the gun was not the actual gun that shot him.
Right.
Clearly. Right. And, it was kind of weird because the blade that, I guess they were trying to find a certain edged type blade that was used was actually found in the house.
Of course.
Guys, get rid of your murder weapons. What are you doing?
Or if you're going to plant them to try to say that it's suicide, leave the murder weapon and not just another random gun.
also, right?
Yeah.
She's probably like, oh, crap, this one has my fingerprints. Oh, whatever, I'll just push that one up there.
Right.
Or, like, the knife, like, I'll just clean it and put it back.
Right.
You're going to use that on something else? Like, you're going to cut your Christmas ham with that? I'm sorry. It makes me mad. Because they're like, no, put that knife down. Why? Oh, I killed Dad's girlfriend with it.
Use that one in this house.
Ugh. So...
It's more of a trophy at this point.
Ugh, that's so gross. So, after a while, they brought everyone in to question them. The mother and daughter stories didn't match up. Like, it's kind of like they kept missing the mark with every single answer.
Well, because we can tell they're, like, super smart people.
Well,
they probably had their shit together.
I was saying, just have them text it. Like, they're great at that. So, I guess Anne-Marie entered this certain type of plea that kind of protects her innocence, which I've never heard of this yet again. I know nothing. It protects her innocence, but they're still acknowledging that the courts have enough evidence to charge her with everything that they are charging her with. Like, it's kind of weird. I'm going to look it up.
So, did she plead not guilty?
So, it's called, it says entered Alford, A-L-F-O-R-D, Alford plea.
I don't know.
I have no idea, but it says to 2 counts of first-degree murder and a related gun charge, which obviously.
Right.
And it said this type of plea allows the criminal defendant to maintain their innocence. So it's kind of like agreeing that the state has enough evidence to convict you, but it also carries the same amount of weight as pleading guilty. So I was like, well, why not just plead guilty? Everyone knows you did it. So I don't know what that does, if it's like helps her in any way.
We need some more information on this. Somebody listening understands
I know.
this.
We need to...
Because
we really need to take a class or two, because I tell you what.
Wouldn't that be so much fun? I want to take a criminology class. What? That would be so much fun.
I think ignorance is bliss.
It works really well on our podcast.
Guys, come on. That's why you listen. You don't know anything either.
Maybe they do and they're just laughing at us.
They probably do. I think all of our listeners are much smarter than me right now.
I don't know. I know some of our listeners.
Well, I know some.
So.
But whatever. That's not neither here nor there. So then, let's see. So Gabriel obviously was also convicted. He pleaded guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder and a related gun charge and conspiracy. Well, obviously.
Right. So all of it. He was like, yep, that's what happened.
Yeah, he was pretty much like, yeah, that was me. And then it didn't say...
You found the text messages. I thought you'd never figure that out.
Take me away, please. And then the daughter, she's 13, so she was tried as a juvenile, but it couldn't say really what she got. So right. I tried hunting for it, but I couldn't find anything.
So you said that they were charged with those crimes. Have they been convicted yet? Or are they... Well, he pled guilty.
Well, this was all of this was pretty much brought to light because they had to wait, I guess, over a year to release some of this. But all of this was as of December 2016.
Okay,
so I'm
just
sure,
happened.
Yeah. So I'm sure they're still probably getting settled on where they're actually getting sent to, and
right. Well, and all the legal stuff takes forever. Like I obviously don't know anything, but the very limited experience that I have with all of that, it's so slow.
Yeah. So that's why that's probably why the articles are so confusing, because the freaking journalists who were writing them were probably like, well, I don't freaking know. Just write something.
Let's piece together what we've got.
And I'm trying to piece together what they piece together, and I'm like, this isn't making any sense. I want to know the drama.
Right. It is a sensational story. Like, it's a
roller coaster involving the daughter and then the daughter's boyfriend, and all the other kids were in the house when this happened.
See, yeah, the mom should have gone to the police and been a terrible mess. Like, oh my God, my kids were in danger. My husband is dead. Like,
no.
Act it up a little bit, lady.
Nope. She didn't care. She said, ugh, whatever.
So when you first started that story, I was going to draw a parallel to, like, our living situation when you used to live here. But then I very quickly realized that was not an appropriate analogy.
That is not right.
Because you were the nanny for my kid. You were not
and
anybody's
in the one
girlfriend.
summer, we were, like, a fake couple. that one summer.
Yes.
And we kept telling David that he was the outsider.
That's right.
We would just be like, oh, we're going out, bye.
I just feel like there needs to be another woman living in this house. And I guess that someday that will be Sophie, but I don't think we'll get along because it'll be like mother, daughter, teenage, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I just, there's so many boys in this house.
That's true.
And when Tyler comes home, he comes home next week.
Oh my God.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited. I need to see him. I haven't seen him, but gosh, I don't even know. Probably.
He was here for spring break, like February, March, like a long time ago. But yeah, so when he gets home, there'll be even more men in the house.
Yeah.
And, well, even more than the one, but also the 4-year-old boy. And that's a lot of fart jokes.
Yeah, it's a lot of.
So, there needs to be another woman here.
Yeah.
I like it when there's another woman here. You want to move back in?
I don't know.
You're like, no. You stuck me in
dogs.
that hot little room upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And
no one believed me. It was hot, and now I'm glad finally it's coming to light.
we bought, now that Tyler's in there, we bought him an air conditioner.
Yes. No, I just sweat. That's probably why I lost so much weight. I was sweating in my sleep.
You didn't like the beds, you slept on the floor.
Yes, I did. Oh, wow, I did that for a long time.
You did that for a long time.
I put literally every blanket that I owned and every blanket I could steal from you guys and put it on the floor.
It was like a nest.
It
the
was.
entire room was a nest. You walked in and you're like in this giant...
But it was the most comfortable thing ever. Because that was when I was going through my sleep problems and I couldn't stay asleep through the night. So I would just kind of wake up and be there, and then I'd like do something or go on my computer, play a game, whatever, and then I'd go back to sleep. I didn't have to move. I just rolled around in the nest.
Well, I will have you know I never conspired with anybody to kill you.
Thank you.
Or attempt to kill you or come up with a plan.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed you living here.
I hope that you haven't tried to plan to kill anybody.
I really haven't.
But me especially, thanks.
Right. Weird. I can't imagine
it's
any
like,
of that poor woman's
this
situation.
Yeah.
Do you think that she can...
She also said she was abused, though.
I was going to say, can she, like, do a battered wife plea or something? It just... it seems like... I mean, yeah, the way that she did it was wrong, and it was totally premeditated, and there were other options, blah, blah, blah. But he really was kind of deserving. I don't know. Yeah. And I don't know about the girlfriend. I mean, just tell her to move out. Yeah,
that's why I wanted to know, like, the drama. Like, did they both abuse her? Like, I need to know. I need to know what happened.
Call him up.
Right.
Be like, I'm doing an interview. You just say, I'm from a true crime podcast. And don't mention the part where we don't know anything about crime.
I'll be like, and I know everything about crime.
Yeah, if you say that, I think it would be a dead giveaway.
I don't know. They were group text messaging. I don't think it would be.
That's true.
I don't think so.
All right, so I have a story that does not involve murder. In fact, I'm trying to make up for like a tone for my last couple of episodes.
Yeah.
So in my story, not only is there no murder, but no one gets physically hurt.
Okay.
And no one goes to jail.
Okay. So what happened, Erin?
The end. Thanks for listening. All right, so mine is the story of Wendy Brown. And you might recognize bits of this. Because when I was reading it, I was like, yeah, I've heard this. Because it only happened 2008, 2009.
Okay.
So not that long ago. And it was pretty well publicized. So I'm going to start at the beginning of her life and lead up to what she's done. So in her childhood, she had a rough childhood. She really hated school. She had a speech impediment that made her sound like she was speaking with baby talk. So not saying R's and that kind of thing. And so everybody would bully her at school. Her mother was abusive, or at least she claimed her mother was abusive. They fought all the time. She said she got hit a lot. Oh, I couldn't tell if it was sort of her view of it, my mom was really mean, or if she really was, because this woman never really grew up. So the only thing she liked about school was long distance running. And she said it would put valuable miles between her and her home, or her and her school, all the places she hated to be. Oh. So she was on the track team and she liked to run. Okay. Well, when she was 16, she was out running like she always did, and she just got really sick and threw up. She had to stop and throw up. And apparently this had happened a couple of times. And she thought, well, it's because I'm so stressed and everybody's bullying me and my mom's mean to me. And she went home and she told her mom, and her mom just looked at her and said, well, are you pregnant?
Oh
She's
my
like,
God.
no, there's no way. Because in her mind, she thought that, like, she and her boyfriend were having sex, but she didn't know how babies were made and thought that whatever they were doing would not make a baby. So I don't know if he was like, I don't know what sort of...
well, if he's in this position, you can't get pregnant.
Exactly, right.
BS.
So she was sure she wasn't pregnant. She took a pregnancy test. It was negative. But her mom was like, so she took her to the doctor, and it turned out that she was 4 months pregnant.
Jeez.
At 16.
Ugh.
So she tells her boyfriend, and the boyfriend almost immediately dumps her. But not before telling the entire school that she's knocked up.
By you.
Yeah.
Like, idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. But apparently that's okay, right? That double standard. Like, it was cool because he got to have sex, but it's not cool because she's a slut and she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So she's pregnant and she has to drop out of school. She really wanted to get her diploma. She really wanted to be a popular kid. She really wanted this, like, high school experience, and she totally lost it. So she drops out. She has the baby. She names it's a boy. She names him Joey after her father, because I guess that she and her father got along, even though, like, she and her mom, not so much. 3 months later, she gets pregnant again, and this time she has a little girl named Jamie.
How? By the same person? Did it mention?
It didn't say who. I think it was a new boyfriend. So I guess at this point, she's just given up.
3 months?
3 months.
I feel like things
after
aren't
having
even
a baby.
healed yet.
Well, especially if you're 16.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she was 17.
Like, I've
at
read
this point,
horror stories about, like, the first time after you've had
Yeah.
a baby, and it's, like, horrible. So, from what I'm...
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Me neither, but
I
still.
just collect children from other people. I don't have my own.
Yeah, well, I don't want to feel that, so I'm like,
Right.
no thanks.
You just take care of other people's children.
Yeah, that's exactly what I like to do.
Right. So she has the baby girl, Jamie, and all this time she's still living at home, and things are still not going well with her mom, and she's miserable, and she's watching her younger siblings, especially her younger sister, have that high school life that she really wanted. She's successful, she gets good grades, she doesn't get bullied, she hangs out with popular kids, she graduates, and so she's really jealous and really bitter. So, as an adult, she does the only thing a reasonable adult who missed out on high school would do.
Please do not say what I think you're going to say. I'm, like, stressed right now.
She goes back to high school.
Never been kissed.
Yeah, pretty much. So here's how it goes down. So she's married as an adult, not to the father of either of her children, I don't believe. And this marriage, about 6 months in, turns abusive, and it's awful, and things are not good in the home, and, like, she's not a good mom, and she's not... It described her as being very childlike and very much like a teenager, and never really
She
maturing.
got stuck there.
She did. She got to 16 and probably wasn't a terribly mature 16-year-old, and then that's where her life stopped. So, the kids don't live with her. Jamie and Joey go to live with her parents. And so they're in another city. The new husband and Wendy move to try to restart, but it's just not going well. And so when her daughter leaves and goes to live with the grandparents, she gets this idea that she's going to start over from where her life got messed up. So she takes the daughter's information and she fills out some paperwork, and she goes shopping and she buys kids' clothes, like clothes from the junior section, and she buys a backpack and a lunchbox and all this kind of stuff. And she's very young looking. I'm going to post some pictures of her on Instagram. Okay. She's very young looking. She has sort of a baby face, and she's really little. And she goes to school and registers. And a couple of people later said, well, she did look a little too old, but not to the point where you'd be concerned about it. And she acted so much like a teenager that they just figured she was one of those kids that looks a little bit old. I mean, teenagers look all over the map. So she goes to school. When she's registering, she uses her daughter's name and her maiden name. She gets everything all straight. She gives them a note that says that her mom, like it has her mom's phone number on it, but it says she's really difficult to reach at work. And then there's like a forged note from her, quote, mom that says that if she ever gets sick, she should be allowed to leave. And like, so kind of writes her mom out of the picture so that she can just be, you know, on her own. And then she asks when cheerleading tryouts are.
Oh my God.
And he tells her, and she goes and she tries out for cheerleading. She totally makes the team. She goes to a party that the coach threw for all the cheerleaders. It's a big pool party. And the only thing that, like, she just has the time of her life with these other kids. She's 33.
Jeez.
So she's a year younger than me. I can't imagine going back. I mean, I work in a high school. That is way close enough. I don't want to be any closer to being back in high school. So she goes to this party. The only, like, she almost gets caught because she has stretch marks. I mean, she has the body of a 33-year-old woman, even though she's really skinny. So all the girls are wearing their really tiny bikinis, and she's wearing, like, a one-piece with a T-shirt over it. And, but then this one girl sticks up for her, and she's like, oh, no, she's just shy. She's new. Leave her alone, you know, whatever. So everything is going fine. She has her dream. She has her cheerleading uniform. She's thrilled. Like, this whole con is working.
So she just goes home every night with the husband? And where does he think she is? Like, at work?
So she said he knew and had taken her shopping for all of these clothes and knew what the plan was the whole time. Later, like, the courts decided that he didn't know, or maybe he just wasn't held accountable. But yeah, no, he apparently was cool with this. I don't know. The whole family's insane. So the problem comes when they start looking at attendance records after the first few days of school, because she went to school the first day and then never went back. And so they called her house and, of course, didn't get in touch with her. Or I think they actually drove to her house and she wasn't there. And they called her previous school, which was the school that her daughter was actually enrolled in. That's who she gave as the previous school, because she gave all of her daughter's information. They were super confused because they're like, nah, she's been attending class every day. Are you sure you have the right name? So then they finally get in touch with her mom, and her mom is like, wait, no, she's done stuff like this before. I bet she, you know, it's actually my daughter, and she stole her daughter's identity, and, like, just ratted her out.
Oh my God.
So, the reason that she had not been back to school since day one, other than the fact that it was a challenge for her because she had never graduated high school.
So she went one day.
She went one day.
Made the cheerleading team.
That happened before. That was like in the summer before school started.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was part of that whole group, and then went to school the first day and then disappeared. Okay. The reason that she disappeared is that at the apartment complex where she actually lived, not like her fake persona, she had apparently somehow managed to get a potential renter to write her a deposit check for the apartment they wanted to, like, I guess maybe she impersonated management or something like that, and then cashed this check. So she was in jail. So she couldn't come back to school. So as soon as this happens, they figured out right away, and all of a sudden, like, the whole school knows, because this is one of those sort of, if something like this happens in high school, everybody's going to know all the details right away. So they all know, and they're totally amazed, and the girls are like, we had no idea, we never would have guessed, and then all the staff and everybody are kind of embarrassed and that they let this person in. They found her not guilty by reason of mental defect or disease or whatever that's called. And they decided that it really wasn't worth it to send her to jail, because what she had done, she hadn't tried to profit off of it. It was just kind of a psychotic break. It was just, she thought what she was doing was totally fine. So they sentenced her instead. They committed her to Wisconsin's Winnebago mental health facility for 3 years. And it has a happy ending, because in Wisconsin's Winnebago mental health facility for 3 years. She managed to get her GED. Oh. And when she got out, she got to actually walk across the stage for graduation. So she still sort of got her high school thing, but she also got the help that she obviously needed.
Yes.
The sad part is that her daughter that she impersonated, they are estranged. Her daughter wants nothing to do with her, and she says
because she did that?
I think that probably she was kind of leaning that way already, and that did not help. Mm-hmm. And the mom says, well, it's kind of in the daughter's court now. She's going to have to make the next move. Like, she can't do anything else. Yeah. And her daughter has a child now, too. So she's a grandmother, but she's never met her grandchild.
Oh, wow.
But presumably her mental health is a little bit better after her stay. One would hope. No more going back to high school.
That's insane.
It is.
I would not want to go back. Like, with Sarah and I always talk about going back, and we're always like, we would do things so differently, but, like, we wouldn't want to come back to that. Like, we wouldn't want to...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I have no doubt we'd all be really good at it a second time through. But at the same time, I don't know that I'd be any better at the social part, because now, as an adult...
Oh, the social part, I still probably would not like half the people I didn't like back then, but I was always one of those people who gave everyone the benefit of the doubt. I never tried to make enemies. I was just trying to be, friendly to everyone. I stuck up for the people who always got bullied. Like, certain people you just don't want to involve yourself with, no matter what time of your life.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like, you know how teenagers... They'll have problems, and it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
This person said something mean, or this guy doesn't want to go out with me, or whatever else, and it's the end of the world. I know now. I mean, I remember feeling that way.
Yeah.
And it was the end of the world, and, your brain thinks it's the end of the world. You don't have a whole lot of experience, and you don't
have any other bigger problems in your life.
Right. But I don't know that I'd have the patience for it in my friends. I'm fine having the patience for it with, like, students.
Yeah.
Because I know that I'm the grown-up, and they're not really going to take anything I say seriously anyway, and, I can just let them do their talking and then move on. But I think with my friends, I'd be like, you're an idiot. This is not the end of the world. Just wait. You're going to be a grown-up soon.
Yep.
I'd give myself away first day. I'd be like,
never mind. I don't want to do that.
Right. Plus, I don't look like I'm 15 or whatever.
Yeah, like... I don't even think I do. Like, I don't think I ever did. Everyone always thought I was much older.
You didn't look like you were 15 when you were 15.
No.
So do you have another story for us?
I do.
You look like you're going to fall asleep. Are you going to fall asleep during our podcast?
I am. Okay, so the last one is just a short little one. It literally took half a page. This is kind of a cut and dry one. But I kind of wanted to fit with my theme. So my first one, a wife killed her husband. And now this is a husband killed his wife.
Awesome.
But
reversal.
What's different is that after he killed her, he posted a picture on Facebook of her.
Oh. Of her dead?
So, the husband's name was Derek Medina, and he was found guilty of second-degree murder. Mostly, the whole gist of it was that night they were fighting, and she threw a few punches at him and pulled a knife on him. So he shot her multiple times.
So kind of self-defense, but also overkill.
But, yes, but they were known to fight.
Okay.
So it was kind of
like... a healthy, happy relationship, just like your first one.
So he shot her multiple times, and then posted a picture of her dead body on Facebook.
Did he caption it? Like, what was he thinking?
So, I don't know if he said this as the caption, but I think he did. It says that then he said goodbye to his family and turned himself in. So, all these family members are commenting, like, please tell me this is fake. Like, this is a fake. Call me. I'm trying to call you. What's going on? Are you okay? Like, is she okay? Like, this is a fake. You're staging this. Like, frantic. A few people reported it to Facebook.
Yeah.
It took 5 hours for Facebook to take it down. So all these people kept asking if she was alright, if he was alright, if this was a fake, trying to get in contact with him, but I guess he was already in the process of turning himself in. So the ironic thing is, Medina, for a living, wrote self-help books and marriage counseling books.
What on earth? Even without being murdered and posted on Facebook, it sounds like she wasn't qualified for that.
Oh, no, not her. Him.
Oh,
he wrote that.
Oh, he's totally not qualified.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you can't even handle a simple fight. And she's like, because, like, you must have been fighting to the point where, like, you must have been fighting bad enough if it got to...
Pull a knife, pull a gun.
Well, not even that, like, punching. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, clearly that
Physical
got to a point. Yeah. And then she pulled a knife, and the first thing he did was shot her multiple times. Like, oh my God.
Maybe that's what it says in his marriage counseling book.
I
like,
know.
Stage 5. If you still can't make it work, shoot her. And then post a picture on Facebook. Your criminals this week are stupid.
And again, their 10-year-old daughter was in the house when...
Oh.
Yeah. When this happened.
Thing.
So he, like, went and was like, yeah, I'm gonna turn myself in, and she was just there. They didn't really comment if she heard what went on, or if she was asleep, or, you know, if she woke up to it, like, nothing. But even then, I was like, this poor kid, and she lost her dad and her mom in the same day, technically.
Yeah, no, she really did.
Yep.
Plus, I just can't imagine, like, if somebody you love kills somebody else you love, that would be the most complicated emotion. You'd feel betrayed, and you'd feel scared, and you wouldn't be able to trust anybody, but you'd also be just devastated.
Mm-hmm.
Poor thing.
So I was just like, you know what? I have a lot of short stories. I was going to do a lighter one, but you said, you're like, no one gets hurt in mine. So I was like, oh,
yeah,
well,
no,
I'll do 2 dark ones then.
Really wanted to be a cheerleader.
I don't think I've ever really wanted to be a cheerleader.
Well, and from the sound of it, she wasn't very good. She couldn't do any of the flips or anything like that. She got dizzy at the pool party, dancing, doing one of those. Oh my God. I forget which song it was, but you know, one of the ones where, like, the lyrics tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, that.
That's funny. Poor girl.
I hate to give criminals, especially murderers, advice. Digital media is not your friend. Stay off the internet and off the text messaging if you want to get away with it. So if you're listening and you're a murderer. That's like a recent thing
in the news, though.
Yeah.
The guy who live streamed it.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Poor man. But it made me even more sick. Not that he did it, but that people were sharing it.
Right.
Like, oh, here's the video of this guy literally shooting another man, like, to kill him.
Right.
No,
I agree. Well, and what was the other Facebook live streaming? Oh, the mom who live streamed her child who was, I think, under 10, driving the car.
Oh my God.
And she's, like, live streaming the whole thing. And so everybody's like, the kid's driving a car on the road, not okay.
Aww.
So she got in trouble, too. But presumably less trouble than the guy that killed his wife and posted it. Mm-hmm. Why would you... Like, he sounds remorseful. If he's going to say goodbye to his family and to turn himself in, why did he post her picture? What a horrible thing to do.
I know.
To his family. Not even to her. She's dead.
5 hours on the internet is like...
Oh, we could still... I was going to say, we could still find it. I'm sure it's everywhere. Well, on that cheery note, shall we wrap things up for the week?
Sure.
So I would just like to say thanks for listening to Crime Crazy. And hopefully you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoy making it, because we look forward to this day all week, every week.
Yes.
And count down and text each other constantly. And so if you like Crime Crazy, if you aren't put to sleep or totally frightened away by our stories, then please tell a friend, or better yet, subscribe. You can subscribe and rate and review on a whole bunch of apps. We love iTunes because that one really will help us spread the word about our podcast even more. Mm-hmm. And just to show our appreciation, which is a word I have a lot of trouble saying, if you do leave us a review on iTunes, we want to give you a shout out on our podcast.
Yeah.
So get on that and we will butcher your name live.
I will. That's what I'm good at.
That's right. I'll write them down and Jordan can read them.
Horribly.
Maybe we'll make up new names for you.
Yeah.
So we would love that. Also, if you want to tell us any stories. If you want to answer our questions about all the different ways that you can plead, because apparently it's more than just guilty and not guilty.
Yeah, which was weird.
Right. You should get in touch with us on social media. We have an email, which is crimecrazypodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. We are on Twitter @crimecrazypod, and that's also our Instagram. If you want to follow us or message us there, send us any pictures you think we should post about anything we talk about. That's also @crimecrazypod.
Yeah. Or if you wanted to post a picture of yourself listening, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
too.
we would totally share it.
Also, we have a Facebook group and a Facebook board. Page. That's what Facebook calls it. And we will sometimes post pictures on there too. We have been trying to get people to converse with us, but apparently none of our friends like to do anything weird. So you should definitely get into the Facebook group and talk to us about crime. And I have some special shout outs for this week.
Okay.
And I also wanted to share some podcasts. So, my special thanks shout out goes to Michelle Hudgens, who's a teacher that I work with, who is part of our Facebook group. The other day, we were talking about a tech problem, and while we were waiting for the computer to load, which is a theme in my life, she said, I have this idea for your podcast. So I'm not going to give it away, but she had a really great idea, and I did some research, and I actually found a story that fits her theme that I love. And so next week, it's already written down and ready to tell you about it right now. So thank you, Michelle, for your suggestion. It's awesome. And if you listen to episode 8, you will hear, hopefully, I'll do it justice. So, and then also April is her pod month. So I was thinking that we should give some shout outs to other podcasts that we listen to.
Yeah.
So the ones that I've been listening to lately, My Favorite Murder.
Yes.
And I think we've mentioned most of these before, but you know what? We're basically just fangirls, so we'll say.
Why not?
And Wine and Crime is the other one that I have been listening to lately, and that one is absolutely hilarious.
I need to listen to them because every time I see their logo, I love their logo.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to listen to them. That's a good logo.
Oh, it's so, they're really great. They're funny. And then, let's see, you've listened to some of this one, right?
Yeah. Oh, and That's Why We Drink. Yes. They crack me up. I know we've talked about them before, too.
I know.
So, whatever.
I feel like at some point they're going to ask us to stop because it's just getting creepy at this point. But I'm all caught up, guys. Could you start putting out 2 or 3 episodes a week? I need more.
No, I definitely like them. And then I need to start getting into more. I keep making all these lists to listen, and then I realize I don't have time to listen. Right. And then when I do, I listen to hours. So I'm like, okay, I'm always behind. But It's About Damn Crime. They're funny. Even their little intro snippets and stuff on their very first episode.
They were adorable.
It was
absolutely
cute.
Adorable.
And their Instagram's really cute because that's what I like. Instagram, I like stalking everybody.
And
seeing what's going on.
Absolutely.
It was just so cute. So definitely give them a listen.
Absolutely. So those are all 4 of those are both true crime and all female hosts. So definitely try those out if you need some more podcasts to listen to.
Yep. Which everybody does apparently.
Absolutely. There can never be too many. So thanks for listening, and remember, don't do any crazy crimes just to end up on an episode.
Don't kill your husband, and don't kill your wife.
No group messaging.
Please stop group messaging.
And you really, really, really will not look good in a cheerleading uniform when you are a mother of 2 and not actually 15 years old. So just don't.
Save everybody.
Right. Plus, high school, not that great.
Let's
Promise.
not redo it.
No. All right, have a great week.
Bye.